Good evening, everybody. As we all know, tonight we are having a technical analysis class, and the topic for today is order flow. And I'm really glad and I'm excited, and it's very exciting to know that we've covered a whole lot of topics. And if you are here and you've always attended the whole classes that we've been having up to date, I want you to type in the chat box and see and indicate that I've been following, or just type the number two so as I can know. Because if you've been here and you've been attending, you would know that you will know that
Hello, Leader Viola.
yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
It's cracking. Your line is cracking.
Oh, really? How about now?
I, I think it's better now.
Okay. I'll try to be more audible. I'll try to be more audible.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, I said if you have been here and you've been attending, you would know that we've covered a lot of topics in technical analysis when it comes to SMC, the strategy that we have been teaching us. Even initially, before we started the main with the main curriculum, we first taught us price action, so how to read your candlesticks, how to read your charts and chart patterns and all of it. So before we go to the most exciting part of the topic, before now, we've done more market structure, break of structure, your fair value gap, and the imbalance, and most exciting topics. And for tonight, we are having a really exciting topic, which is order flow. So for we to be talking about order flow, it means that we've talked about more other important topics. And if order flow is a very essential topic, if you know, combining with the other topics that we covered before, you will be really profitable in the markets. And this is a techniques or a strategy that the best, the top traders in the space, in the trading at large, in the trading industry, are using. The top 20% of traders in the industry are using to like trade. And if you know this, even the strategy we introduced to you in our team digital gold, which is the market strategy. If you know your market structure and you know your SMC well, and you also know your market flow, your order flow, you would know how to catch a lot of trades and make a lot of pips in the market. In our case, we are trading cryptocurrency. We would say points, not pips, which is the difference between pips and points is just the same thing. It's just every count or move that candles make in the market. So now, correlated to what the topic we are talking about tonight, which is order flow, right? Is the amount of so I'll just brief us in a kind of a simple way so that we understand. So now, like most of the examples I gave us in our previous classes, I always use this example that our leader here also likes to use, like you having a provision store. And once I say provision store, I know that a lot of us can really connect it with the leader who uses this as an example, which is our leader, amazing leader, Leader George. And at times also leader Davidope also makes example with this using the same thing, and leader Ocean, leader Florence as well. So you having your shop, and tonight I will actually be using a product. We can use different product to make this example to be a little bit more clearer. So we could use an apple, or we could use maybe bread or biscuits. So far, it's a product, right? So we say order flow. So imagine we just using that word already, that key word, that key phrase, which is order, right? You know, in the market we have different type of order, right? And when you say order in general, right, be it in the traditional market or the digital market, which is the the market, the foreign market, which or the cryptocurrency or the forex or the stock market. When you hear order, right, it's the same thing practically. So what we are talking about is you placing an order. And when we say you place an order, it's like when you say you want to buy something, right? When you are buying something or you are selling something. So you are placing an order to say, okay, you see, I want something. So even though you are giving people set of orders or set of commands, is you are actually creating a form of an action which needs to be fulfilled, right? So you are either giving a computer an instruction or you are giving a person an instruction. What type of instruction are you giving? So in our case in the market, when we are talking about specifically trading, an order is it we have different type of orders, right? So for the provision store, so if I as a customer and you as a merchant, you are owning a store. Me as a client, I come to your store to come buy something. Be it the apple that I said I'm using as an example. So I placed an order to say, you know what, I want to buy an order. I want to buy an apple from you, right, Mr. I don't know. Let me look for someone around there that I can make an example with, so that we can even make this class even interactive. Let me random pick Onichi Ifeanyi. Onichi Ifeanyi. Please, can you unmute yourself? So I know that this class is very like interactive, or anybody in their house who is here that feel like we can have a conversation, uh, you can just unmute. So is Onyechi fine? Are you actively listening? So
We're
let's
here. We're hearing you. We're here.
okay, yeah. But I was trying to make an example, so I was calling up specifically this person, Onyechi.
Okay.
Uh, Okay, I think maybe this person is not in. Okay, what about Mr. Grant? Mr. Grant, please, can you hear me? So if you can hear me, probably you can unmute. So I think we should call on another person. Rita Ifeoma Eze, can you hear me? Yeah, I think Mr. Grant on mute. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay. That's nice. So just to make the class a bit interactive, right? So let's say you are the merchant, you own a provision store, and I want to like place an order from you. Just come up with a price that you are selling any of your products. So just imagine that you are owning a store and you have different type of products in it. And now I'm about to place an order from you. So I want to buy, Mr. Grant, you as
Yes.
a provision store owner, I want to buy apple from you, and I need 5 apples. How much are you selling it, please?
Okay, one is 50 naira.
Okay, one is 50 naira. So that means I want 5 of it. How much would that be, please? So
That's 25 naira or
okay,
250 naira. 250.
250. That's fine. So now I think that price is actually good for me. So I'll be paying 250 naira for 5 apples, right? And I'll be buying them instantly. So now let's just assume that we just had a transaction and we are concluding the transaction, which is you are selling for 15 naira per an apple, and I'm buying and I'm placing an order, right? You see, I just what happened between me and you right now is that you as a merchant and me as a client, I'm ordering 5 apples from your store, and you say it costs 250, and now I place the order and I'll be paying without any negotiation or so. This is a form of an order in which I just place, and this type of order we call it market order. You know why we call it market order? Because it's the price you paid me directly, and I'm paying that exact amount. So it makes it a market order because it has the predefined amount, right, that this thing costs. So then, Mr. Grant, do you understand what I just explained?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay, this is what we call market order. We also have something that we call, so if the rest of the people who are listening, if you can understand what we just said here, which is the market order, type in the chat box and type one, please. So thank you very much, Mr. Grant. So maybe I'll call on another person so as we can define some other type of order. Okay, Rita Ifeoma said we typed one and she said she understand what we just defined. We have also Dokubo Dikilawari. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but yeah, just pardon me. One also the Yanim also typed one that they understand, and I really love that. So our topic for tonight, to not mix up our topic for tonight. We are different. Our topic for tonight is order flow. So our topic for tonight is order flow. But I wanted to just define mark. I wanted to define different type of orders that we have in the market and also define them for us. So the most essential orders, even though we have more orders, right? We have OCO orders, we have iceberg orders and all of it. But the most essential ones that you should know are two, which I'll be teaching us tonight, which is the market order and the limit order, right? So the next type of order that I will be defining to us, if there's any other person who is available that can unmute themselves so that we can place a limit order, and I define it for us as well. So is there any other person who is available that can unmute themselves so that we can transact using a limit order? Please, if you can hear me and without me calling, just unmute and just you can volunteer directly and just unmute so we can place a limit order, so we can keep the class interactive. All right, or should I just pick randomly? Please type in the chat box if you think I should pick randomly. This person say we can't unmute. Okay, so if I need to call on someone so that they'll be able to like unmute. Okay, let's just use Mr. Ernest. Mr. Ernest, please, can you unmute? Okay, you can just raise your hand, please. If you want to, you raise your hand, then we unmute. Please, you can use the raising of your hand option so we can know who wants to. Okay, Mr. Okay. Please, you can just raise your hand. Okay, I think Joe Felix or something. Who's that? Mr. Ernest. Okay, it's Mr. Ernest that is raising up his hand. So yeah, please, Mr. Ernest, you can unmute. Hello. I think someone is unmuting. I can't see who's that. Mr. Ernest, can you hear me? Please, you can just unmute. Really? All right. Rita, okay. We can also use Miss Rita. Please mute.
Okay. Now I can unmute now. They granted the permission. Can you hear me?
Okay. So yeah, I can hear you. So now, let's assume you are having your store. Now let's not use the option of Apple. Let me use, for example, I want to buy like biscuits, right? Please, how much are you selling your biscuits for? Oh, I think it was Mr. Ernest who muted just now. Rita or any other person. I don't know why Mr. Uh, Mm. All right, all right.
Yeah, I'm back.
I said I wanted to buy like biscuits from your store. So how much are you selling your biscuit for, please?
Yeah, 100 naira per biscuit.
Oh, 100 naira per biscuit. Wow, I think that price is so much. Don't you think so? Because this price is really so much. I don't think I can pay for that. Will you be able to sell it for me for like 70 naira?
Okay.
So is that price good for you? Or
Can you
will
hear
I
me?
have to wait?
Hello?
Hello, hello. I say, is that price good for you? Do you think 70 naira is okay?
Yeah, 70 naira is fine.
Oh, 70
But
naira is fine.
yes, I can go with 70 naira. But if you can raise it to 80 naira, that would be better.
Oh, I think I prefer to buy it for 70 because even though it's going to take I don't know, but that 70 naira even or low, I want to buy it even lower than that if possible.
Okay, I can give you 75 naira. That would be the last price.
Oh, that will be your last price. All right, since that's your last price, I will just wait till the price gets to 70 naira. I don't mind coming back. I can wait.
Okay, you can check the next store.
All right, all right. You see, what we just did here, right? You see, practically the price wasn't really good for you, but you were actually negotiating as well, right? And I really stopped at 17 naira without me moving my price because I have something that I'm convinced with. And you, as the merchant, you also have a price that is actually okay for you, right? So now let's now go back to us now. Let me make an example and then comparing these two things, these two words to our our cryptocurrency, right? So if you have ever been if you are on your Binance, right, and you see your chart, right, and you click on a coin, right, we have what we call order book. Mr. Ernest, do you know what we call an order book? Please be honest. If you do or if you don't, please does anyone know what we call an order book? If you do, please just type in the chat box. Okay, Mr. Leader Timitope said he does. Okay, Mr. Ernest, I don't know if you can hear me. We haven't actually concluded our. I wanted to just finish this explanation, but then I think I see you've muted. But yeah, let's just go to us. So in our order book, we have different type of orders. Like the same order, I'm ordering a biscuit from your shop, and you said 75 naira is the last price that you can go for, and you are the one who's selling, right? And I'm the one who's buying, right? The same thing happens in our exchanges when we are placing orders, right? We buyers, we tend to want to buy low and sell high, right? So now assume that I came to your shop and I wanted to buy biscuits, probably in a larger quantity, right? Or the one I want to consume. But this is the amount I wanted to pay, right? I want to pay 70 naira. And you said, from 100 naira, you shifted your price to 80, then you got to 75, and you say, you see, now 75 is the price I can actually do at the moment. Then me as the buyer said, you know what? I don't think I'm convinced with this price. So I want to really pay 17 naira because that's the price I think is okay for me, right? So we also have like maybe other people who also are convincing with this same amount, but let's focus on me right now. So now I said I can wait, which means I said I can come back or I can tell you anytime this biscuit costs 70 naira, that's the time I want to buy. So now if you are my regular customer or maybe probably you have my number and stuff like that, you can definitely now call me and say, you see, Mr. AB or Crypto Masha, this thing now costs, the biscuit costs 70 naira now. You can come and buy your biscuit because it costs 70 naira now. You can call me back and say, you see, you know what, let me just sell it for you like that. That's a limit order because why? I'm the one, the buyer, who's placing an order for that product for the amount I want to buy it for. the previous order that I placed, which was for the apple, which cost 50 naira and I bought five of it, that's a market order because that's the predefined amount it was selling for at the store, right? It was for 50 naira and I needed five and I bought it instantly, right? That's a market order. I wanted to buy something and it cost 100 naira and I said, no, you see what? I'm not convinced. So I have to negotiate. This is what is called a limit order. When you place an order for a product that is not sell for that amount, but you want to buy for a defined amount. So I'm paying 70 instead of the market price. I say, you know what? I'm not buying for that market price because I think it's too high, but I want to buy at this lower price. You understand? So that's a limit order. So I won't go deep further in explaining in the both scenarios like buying and selling. We could actually do that if we were to be trading different markets, right? If we were to be trading the derivative or the futures market, you understand? But then since we are trading the spot, so we tend to want to buy. We also sell, we could also sell, we could also place limit order for the sports sales as well, right? You can say, you know what, I'm buying at a lower price, but also I have a target, right, for when I want to sell. So you can also place limit orders for when you want to sell or when you want to buy. So, but I wouldn't want to complicate everything for us. So just know that we have these orders and we also have other type of order as well, which they are not really relevant at this stage. But these two orders that we just treat right now, if you understand what we just explained with the Apple scenario with Mr. I can't remember who we did that example with. I think it was Mr. I can't remember clearly, but we just did the other order with Mr. Ernest. So if you understand what we just explained, just type one in the chat box, please. Okay, Mr. Yanim said he understood. So if you understand this order, okay, Florence, leader Florence also typed one, and yeah, everybody also typing one. That's really amazing. That's really amazing. So now we can go to our main topic for tonight, which is order flow. So we can even see from the topic name, what comes with it is the word order, which we already defined what's the meaning of order. And then we have different type of order, but then we now say flow, right? Even from the word already, you can understand what we are saying, flow, right? So which means we say order flow. So just very simple definition of it is how order flows in the market, right? So how is this order flowing? When we also in the case of smart money, right? When in the smart money concept or even in price action, how does order flow, right? So how what causes so I will share my screen right now before I go deep down. So the definition of order flow is the way order are being placed or order are being transacted in the charts in the markets and how orders are being distributed in the market. So to get a clearer view of what we are talking about, I'll just share my screen. So if you can see my screen, please type 3 in the chat box. If you can see my screen, please type 3 in the chat box. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Leader Teletope, also Joe Flinks and everybody saying they can see my screen, and that's nice. That's amazing. So our topic for tonight, like I said, is order flow. So I'll just type here order flow. Let me use the capital letter, but even if it doesn't matter. Order flow. So the topic for tonight is order flow, and we want to be able to define market order flows and how, even though whenever I want to define this, I also want to give us a brief, because we talked about market structure, and we talked about imbalance, we talked about fair value gap, we talked about a whole lot of things, break of structure. So now this is an uptrend, right? Like we defined it. We said multiple break of structure to the upside causes and we even talked about our OB order blocks. So now assume that this is our order block. We have blocks around here. So market tapping into this area, tapping into our POI zones, which are our point of interest, or our order block, OB. So market doing this practically, right? And these are actually scenarios in which we are having market is meeting our criteria, and then it's tapping into these orders and picking orders from here. And then for you to have these type of flows here and market coming into your structure, right? It means that we've had imbalance situations, right? Where market is actually creating impulsive move to the upside, impulsive move to the upside, and pullback phases, which are drawing. So we have an uptrend here. We have uptrend. Let me delete this. So what we're having here is let me delete this. So the flow here, right? What we are having here is that we are having impulsive move to the upside here, right? And we're having a pullback leg, which is creating higher lows and creating higher high, breaking structure from here, right? Creating a new high. Once it breaks the higher high that we are having here, we see we have a break of structure. And then before we have another structure that breaks up, we have impulsive move, which is now coming to pick orders, right, from our order blocks, our OB level. And then again, we're having impulsive move to the upside. Again, the market repeating the same thing, right? Creating pullback phase and then creating impulsive move to the upside and then creating another impulsive move, creating a pullback phase to the other blocks, right? This movement here is what we refer to as order flow, right? This is what we refer to as order flow. So, right, because we know that market is actually making all this move, right, to come and do one key factor things here, picking orders. So these are our order blocks, right? So from these our order blocks will be order block. So up to this extent, do we understand what I just explained? Please, if you understand, you can just type one that you understand, or an order book. Order book can be a list of order book can be the buy and sell of particular assets such as stocks, cryptocurrency, or commodities organized by price. Yeah, definitely, you are absolutely correct, Mr. Leader Timitokwe. Yeah, in fact, the reason why I was making an example, where I talked about our order book the last time is because I wanted to use it to explain to Mr. Ernest what an order book really is. So here, actually, if I let me type so I can give us a clear example of what an order book looks like. Let me just type here and go on Google. Actually, I was supposed to show it from our Binance or something like that, from an exchange interface. Let me see if I can just okay, order book. Today you I'm trading it. No, let's just use it as a picture. Let's just use it a picture. So this is a clear example of what we may always say another book. And I believe a lot of us, since we are trading with cryptocurrency, and most of us are used to the interface of our RoyalQ, right? But on our RoyalQ platform, we don't have our order book actually, but we have it on our main exchange, be it Binance, Huobi, KuCoin, any exchanges that we are using, we have what we call our order book, which is something like this. So let me click on this and see if it's going to open up. So our order book is basically this, right? So where we have our sell orders up here, and we have our buy orders here. So you would see it in the middle of it. If you are seeing what I'm doing, please indicate if you can't see it, please just tell me you can't in the chat box. Let me know. But if you are understanding what we are saying, just type one. So in our order book, what does it really contain? It contains different type of orders, right? That are being filled by retail traders and institutional traders in the market. We always have the sell side up here, and we have the buy side here, and a price that is being listed in the middle here. This is the market price, right? The price in which that asset, either BTC or any other asset, SRP, Solana, be it any asset that you are trading, you have the market price that is always changing, right? Because it's in real time, right? And those data are very far, they are changing depending on any amount of order that are coming in. So I tend to want to talk about this much because of the topic, the nature of the topic that we are talking about tonight, which is order flow, right? Because this is where all the magic is happening, right? This is where all the magic is happening before you can see a candlestick in the market printing or doing anything in the market, right? This is where all the magic is happening. For a candle to form in the market, there are actually orders here which are being filled, which is making that candle to open at a particular time, set of time, and a close at a particular set of time, depending on the time frame, right? If I were to be trading in a 15 minutes chart, I know that every candlestick that opens and closes, right, be the bullish or the bearish candlestick, which we talked about. We talked about candlestick. We talked to you about how you can read candlestick, where is the open, where is the close for the buy, and for the bullish candle or the bearish candle. We taught you different type of patterns of candles, right? And do you see all these things are being correlated right now? You understand? And if you've been taking notes up to now you will be seeing the main you see now that is very important, right? If you've taken notes up to now, kudos to you. But if you haven't, really you need to start taking notes. So like I was saying, our order book, it contains the market price, the sell orders, the buy orders, and then you will always see your quantity, right? You see the quantity and then you see the price that the asset is being sold for and the volume, right? Basically, and in some order book, depending on how you like um you put your setting, but the default setting, these are the things these are the data that you actually get, right, from. And at times when you place your order, right, you would see your order actually fulfilling, and it also applies and shows on your screen when you are placing the orders. And I believe maybe by our next class, actually, I could actually give us more example directly from our exchange regarding to this. Maybe directly when I join from our next topic, I could show us from my phone what I intend. But for tonight, I don't think I can actually, because I'm connecting from my laptop at the moment. So now I believe we understand our order book right now from what I just explained. So if you can't understand, just type 2. If you understand what I just said, you type 1. So if I'm going to like recap, I can recap and explain better. 2, you don't understand. If you understand, type 1. If you don't understand, type 2. Joe Felix said we should recap. So now, you see this red part. Can you even see my, okay. You see these red ones, these are the people who are, they are the sellers in the market, okay? They are the sellers. And these numbers that you are seeing beneath it, these are the buyers in the market, right? So, and these are the orders they fill from the example I gave you the other time. We talked about market orders and we talked about limit order. You see, both market order and limit orders are being fulfilled in this our order book, where all the transactions in the market, all the orders that are being placed from different persons, right? From even the institutional traders, the bankers, and all of it, all the orders that they place for example, buying BTC. You open your BTC order book. Different people, different orders have been placed, right, to buy a certain amount of BTC. So the quantity will be listed here, right? The amount, the quantity the person is buying, the amount they want to buy for. And in most cases, the orders you will see here will be limit order because they will be there and they will be flowing. And the more people are buying from, the more other people are placing, right? And they are placing it for a particular amount. For example, if BTC is selling for 100K, and we have 10 people who wants to buy BTC for 100K and they want to buy a specific amount of BTC, probably who wants to buy 1, who wants to buy 0.5, who wants to buy 10 of it, and who wants to buy some certain quantity, they are all being stated here, right? The quantity, the price they are asking for, and the price they are bidding for. So we could say, you see the sellers, right? What you will see in your order book, you will see it's written there, ask price and bid price, right? The ask is actually the people, the sellers, and the bid is the people who are actually bidding, who are buying, right? It's still the same thing. And there are also the bullish people, right? That the bullish, the bulls in the market, and the bears are the sellers. So now I've used 2 synonyms or 3 more to describe the buyers and the sellers. I don't want to confuse us, but just to get the topic for tonight really correctly. So we said the sellers, they are the one who are called the bears in the market. They are the one also the people who are asking, right? Because they're asking a certain amount of price from the people who are bidding, who are buying, right? From the market. So, and then from our order book as well, you can also see from my mouse, right? You can see here there is a price actually which will be always be changing. It will be in white and red, and it will be changing constantly from our order book. Here we are not using a live order book, right? That's why I just used the picture to illustrate for us. There will be a price which is always at the center, right? Okay, yeah, definitely, Leader Ocean, please. You can do that for us, please. That would be very much appreciated. So from our we have our leader, Leader Ocean. She'll be sharing a screen to show us our order book. That's a great leader. One of our great leader in the house, leader Ocean. She's a V3 member. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. So our leader Ocean, will be sharing our screen right now to show us our other book. Yeah. So you can actually see from here, you see, it's written here. I think Leader Ocean can speak at the moment. I think but she's actually the one showing us our screen right now. So you can see we have the ask price and we have the bid price. From your right side, you can see the people who are actually you see the bid and you see the ask. Like I was telling you, the sellers, they are the one asking, right, for a price. You see, at the topmost here, you see the price they are bidding and the amount they want to pay, they want to buy for, and you can see the amount the sellers they want to sell for at the top here, and these prices are correlated to each other because why? Is different from each other. What the people who want to sell for, they're asking higher, a little bit higher from what the sellers, the buyers want to like pay for. But at a point, this price then, the orders then will be accumulating. And when there is a match, then that order that will then leave the order book, right? So, for example, if we have a buyer who wants to buy for 100,000 and we have a seller who wants to sell for 100,000, that order will match. So, which means there's actually an agreement. So, this is where everything like comes up, and then that amount will be sold off from the market, and then so on and so forth. In fact, you can see from here, you see those orders are being accumulating, and there is this depth here, which is actually showing us that there are a lot of orders, similar orders, which are being filled in into that same amount, and then they are being transacted, so on and so forth. In fact, if we want to talk about order flow, and this is really something there are people who actually trade order flow in the market, and they just trade this strategy alone, right? So thanks very much, Leader Ocean, for sharing your screen, and I believe we are able to like show you our order book, and we showed you practically how that works. So now let's go back to our chat, and I'll show us some other things from our trading view. So now from what I was saying, so there will be a lot of, to form a candlestick, to form this one candlestick, we are on our 15 minutes time frame here, and we know every candlestick that is here is 15 minutes. Even this actual one right now, you can see if you come back here, right, in your trading view, this is another thing I'll be revealing to us today. You see, imagine, like I was saying, this lasts for 15 minutes. And now you can see from here, this is the thing that is actually identifying to us the current price of BTC, which is around 103,299.9. And you can see there is actually a time that is reading here, and it's remaining 4 minutes, 1 second. That's actually telling you that you see this last candlestick that is printing, which is 15 minutes, is remaining like 3 minutes, 53 seconds, right? And once it gets to 0, this candlestick will close. This is because each candlestick that forms in this time frame is 15 minutes, and it's not more than that. And for this candlestick to form, right, there have been orders that have been placed on BTC. See, for each candlestick here to form, there have been orders that have been placed, right? And if you can remember when we talked about defining our candles, right? We talked about how where is the open of a candle, where is it close. If you can't remember, go back to that class and go back to our YouTube channel. You will find that class so as to refresh your memory about it. So from our order book, every order that have been placed right now, right? There are orders that have been placed. The bulls right now, right? They are buying, right? They are buying, and there are being orders that are being filled, and they are able to like be closing that buy orders. So they have been closing it. That's why this price is actually going upward, because why they are able to buy. So if this kind of prevention now should close from where it opens, it becomes a red candle, bearish candle, which means it was not in the favor of the buyers. The price, actually the ask price, the sellers was more aggressive in the market. So what we define as our order flow is the flow of price in the market. So from how orders are being felt in the market. And we said, so what you will basically want to know is, I know we talked about imbalance, right? The last time. We talked about imbalance the last time, and I don't want to go, like I was saying, I don't want to confuse us, because I know that we have newbies in the house. I've actually constructed we the team of technical analysis of the team digital group, we've sat down and then crafted very clearly the topics that we know that we really need, that is essential for our team to grow, which are the really topics that matters that we are teaching you guys. So I would have loved to go deep down in depth for us about order flows, but it will end up being too complicated. So what you want to know is that the flow of orders, like you can see the flow, right? It goes impulsive move, pull back, impulsive move, breaking structure, impulsive move again. If you know that this market move in this function and you meet all the criteria, right, that we talked about, the imbalance, the fair value gap, right, a break of structure, and you also know the market's overall direction, which is you want to first define it. So we said we are going to do top-down analysis. Firstly, the things that you want to, the criteria, as we say, you have to meet when you are trading SMC, right? You first is first you want to do top-down analysis. Top-down analysis. So for you to do top-down analysis, top-down. So for you to do top-down analysis, a clear top-down analysis, you want to analyze from the higher time frame, right? And then, so you identify your market direction, identify market direction. So you identify your market direction, and then you also once you identify the market direction, if it's a downtrend or an uptrend, right? The next thing you want to do again is identify your you draw your structure, and then now you also look for your order block, meeting all the criteria, like finding your imbalance. We talked about all the things that you have to look for. So you draw your market structure, and you know that for you to get a clear market structure, you know everything that you have to do. You have to say you have to have an impulsive move and a pullback leg. And then from your last higher high, from where the market broke, then you want to draw from the high to the body of the last break, right? So you draw here, and then you draw it to the body of the next candle that is close by. So and then the structure will then break, and then there will be a pullback, and then you want to look for your imbalance. So from your imbalance, okay. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for that, leader. Arive. So now you meet all the criteria, which is you draw your market structure and then you draw your OB, right? And then now this for tonight we talked about our order flow, and we know what a clear order flow is. You know that for you to have a clear order flow, you want to be able to know where to place your orders and where are the smart money placing their order. And the place where the orders are being placed, right, is where you have your order blocks, right? Your order blocks are where institutional orders are being placed, right, which are huge orders that pushes market back to their order, where they are placing their order. Because when you have a break of structure to the upside, creating an imbalance, right? Creating an imbalance, there will be a force in the market that will pull this, there will be a manipulation in the market that will pull back order here to come and grab liquidity. We talked about liquidity as well. So you want to also look for liquidity. And then once you create your liquidity, market comes here to grab liquidity here and then continues in that direction back, breaking another structure and looking for another liquidity here. So if there is any question, you can ask, and we'll be open to answer that, because I want to be really time conscious, because I think we've exhausted all our time. So if there's any question before, we can just answer. So we talked about the topic for tonight, and then we briefly talked about all the criteria that you need to meet up with your, so you define your OB clearly, and then you also have to identify your institutional candle and your fair value gap. So once you meet all of these, you are good to go, and then you place your order. And then by the next class, when we talk about the topic for the next class, then we'll do some analysis together, live analysis. So if there's any question, you just identify in the chat box, or you just unmute and ask, please, or you raise your hand, please.
Wow. Thank you so much, Leader Owututu Abiola. That was an amazing presentation. And you know what? When some time ago, that was 2022, I registered for a crypto class, the analysis class. I didn't get to understand all these details. But today, I have really understood the different order book, the OCO, which other one? In fact, I've really benefited from this. The limit order and the market order. Yes. So thank you so much for doing justice to this topic. I really appreciate your time and effort.
Yeah, I think
so please, does anyone?
Is the other book applied in RoyalQ trading? You see, in our RoyalQ, let me just answer this question with Florence. In our RoyalQ, we don't really have our order book, but then, yeah, we have like a record, right, where we keep our record. But RoyalQ is actually interacting with your exchange, so that you don't have to be seeing all those big data, right, from your exchange. RoyalQ is doing all those transactions for you, placing your order in your order book, places all your orders for you, and practically in your at your back end, your back office on your RoyalQ, Mr. Ernest, what you will now be seeing is the records of the trades that RoyalQ has been placing in your exchange, right? So it now keeps like more of a spreadsheet, but you have everything in your RoyalQ. This is what makes RoyalQ really exceptional and really amazing. You have all your analysis. I believe by the other classes that will be taken, if you attend Leader Ocean's class, there she breaks down to you, and then I believe she also would do more justice to that by showing us how you can go to your RoyalQ and the places you can see all your transaction analysis, your profit analysis, and all of this. She has been doing this, and I believe by the next class, if you are on that class and you ask that question, she would also get to explain that to you again. And you are able to see all the records of your transactions, because RoyalQ does justice to all of that. all the transactions, all your past transactions, everything that is going on in your on your exchange, everything will be there because it's all automated. You don't have to do all of that. But if you were to be trading manually, you have to like do all of that for yourself. And the data are really, really, really complicated. So I believe I was able to answer your question, Mr. Ernest. Oh, okay, that's great. Leader Florence, please, you can take over, please. Thank you so much for
Okay, thank you so much, Leader Biodun. Does anyone else have any question for today? If not, maybe we can just wrap up here. Leader George. Hello, Leader George. Leader George, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please. I don't know if you have one or two things to say so that we can wrap up the meeting.
Okay, so there's no question for the host. Okay, there's no problem. You're all welcome. I would like to say thanks for attending today's presentation. Because the more knowledge you have, the more power you have to control the robot. Even though the MACD has been implemented and MACD will help do most of these things, but the knowledge you are getting can never be undermined. You understand? Better you have the knowledge, the raw knowledge about how all this chart works. Though MACD, all those things has been put in MACD, the settings to make it simple while you are using the RoyalQ app. Okay, so if you are here, you'll be a better trader. You understand the base, you understand the structure apart from the design, because RoyalQ is the design. But what we are teaching you now is the structure of what is happening. All you see is the design in RoyalQ. Okay, so no knowledge is a waste. You're getting it. And I believe you'll be a better trader with using RoyalQ. So please, we should try to encourage our team partners, team members to also come to the Zoom. Because the more you don't encourage them to come to the Zoom, if you leave it for only a few leaders to be encouraging your team members, remember you are the one that introduced RoyalQ to them. And most of them now, they will say they are in floating, they are in floating loss, they are in unrealized loss. That is why they have not been active on the group. So it's your duty to go and inform them that, see, a new features have been added. The team now do our Zoom meetings every day. So they need knowledge to come out from, the floating loss. They need knowledge of the MACD to know and to know how to trade well so that they will not find themselves in floating loss. They need this knowledge coming to the Zoom to know that they cannot just trade any coin. Someone was showing me a trade something and I was seeing S, a name of a coin, S. I was seeing a name of a coin form and the person is trading it. I say, if this person has been coming to our Zoom, how will you be trading a coin named S and a coin named form? If markets crash now, those coins go down, people pull out their money from it and the coins go down, you will be in floating loss. And before you know, Binance might delete such coins. So you see, coming to the Zoom is very important. Talking to your prospects. That is why you see me sometimes in the group. I will tag my direct partners, my team members. that I have not been seeing to the Zoom. So as a leader, it's your duty to call, to tag your people too, your team members. Because these team members, like I said yesterday, they are the ones you are working with to make things better. If you don't encourage them so that they will come to Zoom and get this knowledge and be trading well, they will see, they will not be serious with the business. And it will not be in your favor that people that you brought into a business are not doing well. So that is why we always encourage, don't leave it for the for some leaders to be talking about the Zoom. Others should come, get this knowledge. It's free of charge. There are some places you pay up to $300 to $1,000 to get this knowledge, but we are giving it to you so that you be a better trader. You will enjoy the RoyalQ business, because it's just like classroom. Whether you attend class or not, the school fees you pay will end. If you do well, you'll be promoted. That means here in RoyalQ, if you do well, you will have $120 to renew for another year. If you don't do well, you will just give up on the business. And it's very it's plain that it's not everybody that will do a business that will be successful. It's only those that want to be successful that will be successful. It's not everybody that will write the exam that will pass. It's only those that are serious, that prepared for the exam that will pass. Well, but everybody that took the exam paid school fees. So it's the same thing in every business. It's not everybody that will pass. But everybody will pay school fees now. Everybody will come to RoyalQ. But it's not everybody that will do well in RoyalQ. It's only those that want to do well. Because if you want to do well, you want to be successful, you don't even need people to come and tell you that we are doing Zoom every day. It's a knowledge you should find when you show interest in something. So please, we should try our best. On the group is open. You know you have team members. Take up the responsibility as their team lead. Call them, ask them why they are not attending Zoom. Tag them on the group. Chat them. We get this knowledge. Talk about the knowledge you are getting. I know some few persons always give testimony or give feedback that yes, this knowledge, they got it from the Zoom and this is their trade results. If we start doing it, it will encourage people to start coming to the Zoom. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Leader George. Thank you so much. I think we'll be ending the Zoom now. Thank you everyone for attending.
Thanks everybody. Thank you, the Florence and everybody.
Thank you. That was a great job. Thank you. God bless you.
Mr. Ernest, I think Mr. Ernest said he was asking me a question about MACD. So I just quickly answered that. So the MACD strategy, right, actually uses a limit order if you don't use a preset price from yourself from the platform. If you are using your MACD strategy and it's actually an order that has been placed, right, it has to meet the criteria. So you are buying from the order beneath when there's a golden cross, and actually it plays a limit order for you. So it waits to meet the golden cross before you can meet your order from before the order is being placed. So in most cases, this order will change depending on how the market is moving. So when there is a cross, there will be a predefined price that a preset price that the robot will now be giving your order. So it will be moving depending on what the price range is from where your cross is happening. So it's a limit order. So good night, everybody. Good night, everybody, for joining. And thank you for joining.